Hello, welcome back to the channel. Enough talk about color and color blindness. In this week I'm going to talk about black and white. Ilford FP4 ISO 1/25 black and white film shot on this little thing here, which is the Nikon AF200. It's a point and shoot camera. It's got auto wind, auto rewind, auto exposure, auto focusing, and well, everything is just of what you're doing basically. And an ISO 1/25 is not very sensible. It's not a very fast film, so I did in fact use the built-in flash a few times, which is placed there, and that's also automatic. I can't really do anything about it. I think there is a mode to turn it off, but I couldn't make it work. So yeah, I bought this camera for £15, and that's probably what it's worth, because this is not a particularly fast or great lens. It's 34mm f4.5, so it's also not a very fast lens. But it's fun, and you can just walk around and shoot with one hand and do funny stuff with that. So I went out and I shot this roll of film in a couple of days, and I just scanned the results, and I'll show you them on the screen, and we'll have a little talk about this camera. And yeah, and there might be some kind of a surprise at the end of this video. I don't quite know, but no, there won't be. Or will there? We'll have to wait and see. So let's look at the pictures now. So let's have a look at these images. One thing is that I can see for sure in all these images is that, and I saw that when I scanned them, I actually had to bump the exposure between 2 and 3 stops, and that introduced some more noise, as you can see, especially in these areas here, because this is not just grain. It's not only grain, it's also some digital noise, and that's quite annoying. Next one, it seems pretty well exposed after I've made the aforementioned adjustments. Yeah, it's okay, and amazingly enough, I could retain a lot of the detail in this guy, so the film has got a great amount of latitude in that film. That's quite nice. This one, as you can obviously see in the right-hand corner over here, someone just screwed up, maybe me. I put my finger in front of the lens. It's a very small camera, and when you're shooting, I think I shot this with only one hand. There's this finger coming across the lens, so that's just, yeah. Another picture of this town where I were. This is clearly underexposed. You can see it's almost crossed the blacks over here. I don't know, maybe I could in Lightroom fix a little bit, but I didn't do anything to this in Lightroom except for adjusting the crop, so that it's not well, so it fits, because maybe I didn't crop them correctly in the scanner, but that shouldn't be an issue with the quality. Another one, and again you can see, well, of course it's blown out over here where the sun is, but not totally. There's still some detail in here, so that's not too bad. And this one is a bit funny because, well, it's not much of a picture, but I just wanted to test if the flash would fire in these conditions, which it did. It's not a lot darker than when you're not under this, because you can see up here it's a glass roof, and there is actually coming some light down. And it's in well, it's not the middle of the day, but it's bright at that time with grey skies, but still bright. But it still decided to fire the flash. This has in fact been edited in Lightroom, because this was not only underexposed, this was hugely, immensely underexposed, and I don't really know why, because I was focusing on this middle area, and I believe the camera should be centivated in its in the light meter, in metering the light. So why on earth it decided to underexpose this by, I don't know, maybe 5 stops or something like that. That's pretty weird. So I suspect the light meter is not working. But in fact, when I shot against the sun, like in this occasion, you can see the sun up here. There's grey sky, and there's some skies between the sun and us, but it's diffused, but it's still, there's a lot of light up there, and it actually looks, well, not too bad really. And this is a great example of the vignetting on this camera. I have a feeling it's got vignetting more in one side than in the other. I don't know why, but I think there's also some other images that I'm not showing you right now, but they looked a bit well, it looked a bit weird really. So I don't know if this is yeah, I don't know, but it just seemed like it was more vignetting in one side than the other. And you can see it here as well in the bottom. There's a lot of vignetting and not quite that much vignetting in the top, but I like the vignetting anyhow since it's there. So yeah, that's the final image. So you can see this this camera. Well, it works. I think in some ways it worked better than I expected. The images were a bit sharper than I expected, but the exposure is just totally way off, and the handling, you really have to get used to that, not having your finger in front of the lens. You really have to pay attention not to do that. So, and I can see the focus on this camera here is hunting, so I'm just going to creep in a bit further. I don't know why it's hunting that much. That's pretty weird. Yeah, maybe that's a problem. I don't know. But I'm going to do a firmware update after this, so yeah, we'll have to see. Yeah, that's it. Oh, by the way, about the metering, I just something just pops into my mind. There's this. The camera actually reads the film, the canister, to find out what the which kind of film it is, which ISO it is, or ASA probably in those days, and maybe it can't read that, and maybe it believes that this could be an ISO 400 film, because that will explain the two stops, maybe 3 stops underexposure. That could explain some of it, some of the problem, but I do believe some of the last images were exposed better than the other ones, so I don't quite know why. But maybe there's it was a bit brighter, and maybe it's got some limit to how slow a shutter speed it's got built in. That could be the explanation for that, but then again, I don't understand why it doesn't initiate the flash, so I'm not too sure about it. I don't really know what's going on. Fun little camera. I would definitely take it out on a bright sunny day. You could probably get some decent images out of this, but in the winter time, shooting in dull weather and dull lighting like this, I'm not too sure about it. So I prefer to have something where I can really control what I'm doing. So I'm probably going to use my Nikon camera or something else for that. So yeah, that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.